Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. Now guys, sometimes I feel that corruption in Nigeria is such an endless grind that we should just cancel the country and start all over again. So with that guys, I bring you this. Everyone has a price. Nigerians react as Atiku confirms donating 50 million naira to Obasanjo's library. So that's the headline. Everybody has a price. Nigerians react as Atiku confirms donating 50 million naira to Obasanjo's library. So now let's get into exactly what happened. A cross-section of Nigerians has reacted to the 50 million naira donation by former Vice President Atiku Abubakar to ex-President Olusegun Obasanjo's library. It was reported that Atiku, in a statement issued by his media office on Monday, admitted that his son-in-law, Baba Lele Abdullahi, donated the sum of 50 million naira to Obasanjo's library. Atiku accused the President Muhammadu Buhari-led administration of desperately looking for ways to implicate ex-President Olusegun Obasanjo and silence him, adding that his son-in-law made the contribution in full compliance with the law. He also condemned the inclusion of Obasanjo's name in the list of tax defaulters by the Federal Inland Revenue Service, FIRS, stressing that the move was to blackmail the former president. Atiku's confirmation has generated reactions on social media as some Nigerians queried the veracity of the reason for the donation. Here are some comments gathered from Twitter. So this is Surah Shahid. The EFCC should be ashamed of sensationalism. How about the bullion vans at the election eve moving in Tinubu's house? What is the worth of Yusuf Buhari's motorbike? Atiku's in-law donated 50 million to a good cause. How about Buhari's in-law Idemi, who donated 4.8 billion, that's $14 million, to a USA university? So that's one reaction. So now 50 million is not that significant an amount within the Nigerian space, so we have to say that. So 50 million cannot be considered a bribe to somebody like Obasanjo. We have to say that, because 50 million is just 50 million. I'm not even sure if it's up to $100,000, so that cannot be really considered a bribe to somebody like Obasanjo. But let's carry on with what people think. This is John saying Fanny Mokun. So John says Fanny Mokun is the latest respondent. The only difference between Atiku and the 77 Nigerian fraudsters is just that the former is supported and backed by the state power, whilst the latter has no power that will shield them. The next respondent, I Ikulede, fundraising for Obasanjo's library was done around 2005. ESCC was established by Obasanjo/Atiku government, and Magu was foundation staff. All state governments, parastatals, and private companies and private individuals. One wonders why EFCC is talking about 50 million donation to presidential library now. So apparently this donation actually goes back a long way. So I'm not quite sure what date that donation was made, but according to this guy, this is going as far back as 2005. But I think he may be making the assumption that the donation was made when the library was created, but that is not necessarily the case. So we go on to the next respondent. I'm not going to attempt this name, but I will read out the comment. The Atiku reclaiming of his stolen mandate seems to be the only option for viable Nigeria in times like this. There likely appears to be no headway for our democracy. So I think a lot of people agree with that, because nobody really sees Atiku as the cure to anything. But Atiku is by far and away a better option than what we have at the moment. A clueless malam who just thinks that pointing the gun at everything and shooting it is the solution to everything. So you criticize him, he will shoot you. You don't criticize him, he will shoot you. You support him, he will shoot you. You don't support him, he will shoot you. you. So long as you are not from his tribe and his religion, you are effectively shooting practice for him. This is effectively what we're seeing playing out now. So let's go on to the next one. Abiodun Oni is the next name. Hashtag Abiodun Oni. Buharist, please, I want you to comment because Atiku can't just talk this way. I want you to fire him. So this one is now wanting them to go after Atiku. So the next one, Lawrence Okorong. Lawrence Okorong is the next name. The way Atiku and his son-in-law are spending money, if power is given to him, won't he sell the country and count his profit? Well, the country is being sold already and the profits are being counted. So I don't know which planet this one is living on. So the next one is at hashtag Owonda Henry, hashtag Owonda Henry, and that turned OBJ into a letter writer. We don't know how much was used to buy off OBJ's support. EFCC should dig deeper. More sheets underneath. Thank God this man never won. They would have looted this country to stupor. Well, this country is being looted now. If you have no clue what is going on, then you are just a dunce, effectively, is what I can say to that. This one is Akitunde Bello, hashtag Akitunde Bello 3. No wonder Baba suddenly made a volt face. I sensed it, but had nothing concrete upon which I could establish my suspicion. But alas, it has been revealed. So he now is now saying that this is the reason why Obasanjo did a 360, because you will recall, of course, that Obasanjo said Atiku was not fit. So let's carry on. This is the last one. That's Femi Otuba. At Femi Otuba is this one. Everybody has his price. For OBJ to forget everything he believes Atiku was in his book, I think Atiku paid more. So this is now what he has to say. So now let's now explore all that. So we have this situation now where it is being revealed that Atiku donated 50 million naira to Obasanjo's library, rather. Let's get it right, not directly to Obasanjo himself, to Obasanjo's library, but then Obasanjo's library, of course, is Obasanjo as well. So we have this situation, and then we also now have a situation where Obasanjo in his book has said that if he ever recommended Atiku for anything, that God would not forgive him because Atiku is a thief. This is what Obasanjo wrote and was famously quoted all the way through, that Obasanjo, and who should know Atiku more than Obasanjo, who works with him for 8 solid years, that if he ever recommended Atiku for anything in Nigeria, that God himself would not forgive him. Obasanjo said this. So now that's the second element. Now the third element is Obasanjo has now turned round to recommend Atiku not just for anything but for the president of Nigeria. So now let's examine those three elements. So the first element is the 50 million naira that was given to Obasanjo library. Well, nobody of any right thinking can consider 50 million naira as a bribe to Obasanjo, somebody that has served 2 terms within the Nigerian space, and we know no matter how honest you are, you would have helped yourself. So Obasanjo himself is already a wealthy man. I doubt if this guy needs 50 million naira to rescue him from anything. I bet he spends 50 million naira a week anyway, just for giving money out and chasing babes or whatever it is that he spends money on. So I don't think 50 million naira moves the needle for Obasanjo in any way, and nobody of any sense would suggest that 50 million naira will constitute a bribe to somebody like Obasanjo, especially as it pertains to something like the presidency of Nigeria. 50 million naira is 50 million naira. A lot of you listening to this commentary now have probably more than 50 million naira in your own bank account, and you can't claim that you are wealthier than Obasanjo. So 50 million naira does not constitute a bribe to Obasanjo. That 50 million naira might well be some form of gratuity for his support, because that 50 million naira would have been given after Obasanjo would have declared his support for Atiku. So it's a form of gratuity. We can argue that, but it's definitely not a bribe, and 50 million naira would not sway Obasanjo in any way. So that's the first bit. Now, the second bit is Obasanjo said God will never forgive him if he ever recommended Atiku for anything. So he said that, and that was widely quoted. So we know he said that. So now that sits there because he has now done the exact thing that he said, oh, God will never forgive him if he does. So Obasanjo having now said that God will never forgive him if he recommended Atiku, has now done this volte face, as somebody described in the commentary, and now, which is a turnaround in position. So he's now done this volte face and recommended Atiku for the presidency, the highest office in the land. So why would Obasanjo then do this 360-degree turn? So is it, one, as a result of the 50 million naira that Atiku gave him? No, definitely not. And I don't think even you, the most anti-Obasanjo person, will be of the view that 50 million naira was what it took for Obasanjo to change his mind. What Obasanjo did, in my view, was to look at the lay of the land and the way the country was being run under Malam Buhari, and he thought that the country cannot go on this way. Because you will recall that Obasanjo supported Buhari quite aggressively in 2015. So you cannot say that Obasanjo is an anti-Buhari person. Obasanjo was one of the key players along with Tinubu. These were the two foremost players, rather, that brought Buhari into the Nigerian state. Obasanjo, Buhari, and Wole Soyinka, because these are three respected names, and these are names that are not of the north. So they have that independence of thought, and they have that respect of the Nigerian people. And if they are all weighing against Goodluck Jonathan and saying Buhari is the man, then the country then is then swayed by that. So Obasanjo was one of the key names that brought Buhari in. So you cannot now say that Obasanjo is anti-Buhari, but Obasanjo, like every other Nigerian, saw what the country was under this guy for just 4 years. He ran everything down. He's brutalizing everybody. He's turning it into a military state, an authoritarian state, and is an unbearable state. And the level of poverty and depravity in the country has escalated 1,000-fold. It's an unsustainable model, this Buhari particular manner of governance, and this is something that Obasanjo is of the view that the country cannot bear. So he's now made that decision that can the country continue with somebody like Buhari, who is just out to kill and impose his will in terms of religion and ethnicity, or can the country survive somebody like Atiku, who is partial to corruption? So you have brutality on one side and incompetence, but then you have competence and corruption. Because brutality and incompetence is Buhari. There's nothing that Buhari has done for the Nigerian state in the 4 years that he has been there. All he does is just appoint his own clansmen to key positions which they are not competent to hold, and they're just looting the place down, and everything is being run down as a result of that, because they lack the capacity to manage the positions that is putting them in, and is refusing to put people who are competent in there, because the people who are competent are people not of his tribe, and the people that are of his tribe, the very few people that are of his tribe that are rather competent, are not really loyal to him, because their loyalty is to integrity, and he wants people of his tribe and people that are loyal to him. So these are the two criteria that Buhari uses to appoint people into places, slots rather, within the Nigerian state. So we all see the result of it, with everything run down. Everything in Nigeria is run down. Nothing works. The whole place is collapsing, and this is the state of the country as it is now, or just as a result of 4 years of Buhari. So what Obasanjo is saying in effect is, do we manage this guy with corruption and keep a watchful eye on him? Because Atiku is susceptible to supervision, and he will heed the voices of the Nigerian people, because he's a civilized person and a Nigerian man. He's married right across the whole country. He's lived right across the whole country. He's as much a Yoruba man as a Fulani man, because he enjoys Lagos, he enjoys the Yoruba culture, he loves the Igbo, but he's a Fulani man also. So he's a very much a Nigerian person. So do we have this guy who is very competent? Because make no mistake, Atiku is a very able man. The only thing that people are leveling against him is this corruption toga that they have dressed him in. So he's competent, but people feel he's corrupt. But Malam Buhari is incompetent, and brutal and also corrupt, because there's a heavy corruption in this Buhari regime. They are all looting money. If you think they are not looting money, then you are just in dreamland. So nothing has changed for Nigeria in terms of Buhari. Everything has gotten worse, but Atiku at least will bring a level of competence to the state of play. So this is really, for me, what made Obasanjo change his mind. But what are your thoughts? The 50 million naira and the ex-president is the topic of conversation. But before you come have that conversation with me in the comment section, click on the red subscribe button so it turns gray. Bell button notifies you every time I drop a new video. Then come share thoughts with me in the comment section. So I'll leave you here, carry on with you in the comment section. But here I say peace.